Okay, hello. I just want to talk a little bit about electrons gaining energy and what they do when they gain that energy. So let's say theoretically we have an electron that is in the principal quantum energy level number 2, okay? Or, I'm sorry, principal quantum energy level number 1, or n equals 1, okay? So if that's the case, if I have an electron that is in this orbital, that means that electron is in the 1s orbital. Okay. Now that can be either a 1s1 electron, or it can be a 1s2 electron. At this moment, it doesn't quite matter. The important thing is that this electron is in the 1s orbital. Okay. So that means my electron is in the s orbital. As this electron gains energy, it's going to jump to principal quantum energy level number 2, number 3, and let's say it stops at just at 5. Okay, so an electron does not just simply jump from N1 to N2 to N3 to N4. There are actually intermediate steps to take before jumping to that next level. So you might imagine going from the first floor of a building to the second floor of a building. Okay, unless you've got superpowers or incredibly strong legs, one does not simply just go from first floor jump to the second floor. Okay, unless maybe you take an elevator. But for this example's sake, let's say you don't have an elevator. So there are intermediate steps to take before you go from one floor to the next. Same here. So you go from one energy level N1, to go to N2, there are intermediate steps. And the thing is that the higher you go, the higher energy you go, let's say you go then from 4 to 5, the more intermediate steps there are. Okay? So you'll notice here, my S, before I get to this point over here where n equals 5, so 5 is not actually written on here, but I have my 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like I have here 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll notice here that I have to go through my 2s orbital and then my 2p orbital, and then I reach my energy level number 3. And then to get through 3, so from 3, from this point here, from energy level number 3 to get to 4, I have to go through my 3s orbital, my 3p orbital, and my 3d orbitals. Okay? And now I've reached principal quantum energy level number 4, or my N3. So now I am at this point right here. Okay? And to get from energy level number 4 to energy level number 5, I have even more intermediate steps to go through. So I have my s orbital. Let me change colors. I have to go through my 4s orbital, my 4p orbital, my 4d orbital, and now my 4f orbital. And once my electron has gained enough energy to jump through all of those intermediate orbitals, I have now reached my 5th energy level, or my N5. Okay? So I am now at this point right here. Okay? So I have gone from principal quantum energy level number 1 all the way to my N5. And to get there, as I know, we just talked about, I had to go through many intermediate steps. Okay, so you can say that I basically went from here to this level, and as you know, we discussed in a previous video, once this electron loses that energy and goes back to its principal quantum energy level, it releases ultraviolet. Okay, so these electrons, as they gain energy, they absorb energy, and once they release that energy, it's released as some wavelength. That it's either in the ultraviolet series, visible series, or infrared series. Okay, but that's in a previous video. One last thing to take note of before we finish this part is I want you to take note of, look at your s orbitals. All of your s orbitals contain only one orbital. Okay? All of them contain one orbital. No matter what the principal level is, they all contain 1. And look at your p's. Your p's all contain 3 orbitals. So as these electrons, as for example, as it's going from s to 2p, this electron actually has to jump 3 orbitals that are in the p. They have to jump through 3 orbitals to finally get to the 3s. And to go from 3s, it only needs to go through 1 orbital. Okay, and as this electron gains even more energy, it goes to the 3p, and once it gets to the 3p stage, okay, it has to go through 3 orbitals. Okay, so if you can imagine, so if you're, if we're using our step analogy here, we can say that the first step in every floor is an S stage, and then the next 6 steps are the P stage. Okay, so as I'm going from my 3rd floor to my 4th floor, my 3rd floor has one S orbital, and then it has 3, so 1, 2, 3, it has 3 p orbitals, and then D, it has 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 d orbitals, and then I finally reach my fourth floor, if you will, or my 4th quantum number, n equals 4, n equals 3. Okay, so this is my d orbitals. Now look at this down here. Look at to get to from my 4th floor to my 5th floor, I not only have S, P, D, but I also have an F section to get through. Okay, so again, this video is just to highlight how electrons, when they jump energy levels, they have to jump through intermediate steps in between each level, and the higher the level, okay, the higher the energy level, the more intermediate steps there are for that electron to jump. Okay?